Good afternoon to Secretary Duque and
Thank you, sir.
Department of Health Family. My first question is for FDA with regard to the requirement that on labeling that the ingredients of food items should be properly enumerated or stated on the labels. Is this being implemented equally and fairly?
May I just, Your Honor, request Director, OIC Director to respond.
I consider this a very good policy because it will educate the consumers on what are the items, especially if they're avoiding certain items in their diet.
Your Honor, we have standard guidelines for labeling of products according to their categories. For soft drinks, for meat, well, meat is now with the National Meat Inspection Service. For processed foods, Your Honor.
What about bottles of drinks? Are you implementing this? How do you intend to implement this fairly and equally?
Your
Because
Honor,
the last time I looked at a soft drink bottle, I don't remember seeing the list of the ingredients that we normally see in paper labels.
Your Honor, yes, it is implemented. However, for soft drinks specifically, the location on the ingredients is on the cap. However, we have proposed, Your Honor, that we will study this matter to put the labeling, the ingredients in a conspicuous place on the bottle.
Yeah, thank you. That's why I stressed fairly and equally. Especially now that people are very concerned about what are the contents of these soft drinks. 50 years ago, 30 years ago, people were not so conscious, but now they're very conscious about this.
Your Honor, we have formed a task force to study this matter, especially on the requirements, Your Honor.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madam Director. Mr. Secretary, one time I read that you branded dengue as even more fearsome than terrorism. May we know what is your latest figure on dengue? Because I myself am quite alarmed. I just went to the wake of a son of a good friend of mine. He comes from a very wealthy family, and apparently even the wealthy ones are not immune from dengue fatalities.
Well, unfortunately, there's no cure, there's no vaccine against dengue. But just the same, Your Honor, data-wise, we have 24,359 cases as of August 24. This is down by 23.4% compared to the same period last year.
So down by 23.4%. How would you attribute the decline in the number of cases?
But I think we changed our approach from a seasonal anti-dengue campaign to a all-year-round campaign throughout the country. How communities can actually prevent the spread of dengue through our 4S, which is the search and destroy, security consultation, self-protective measures, and say yes to tagging if there is evidence of an outbreak in the communities. So the Dept has numbered 224, has reached 224, representing a case fatality rate of 0.9%, Your Honor.
Although 24,000 for the past 8 months or so would still translate to something like 3,000 cases a month, or roughly about 100 cases a day.
You're right, Your Honor, except that the increasing trend has become manifest only in the last 6 weeks, Your Honor.
Thank you. Now, another question is, we've been talking about hazards to health. And of course, one thing that has been written up as a possible hazard to health would be new technology, and this is with respect to the use of cell phones. I wonder if the Department of Health has a final advisory already on whether the use of cell phones could become hazardous to a person's health, because, you know, practically every adult Filipino has a cell phone. Even teenagers and children have cell phones. I understand we have about 50 million cell phone users in the country, and therefore 50 million are exposed to cell phones. So what is the final advisory of the Department of Health on cell phones?
The request Director Peralta of the Bureau of Health Facilities, Health Devices and Technology is responsible.
Sir, good afternoon, Your Honor. The World Health Organization has a statement, and they have actually had for the past 10 years what's called a project of electromagnetic fields. And one of the technologies that is included in the program is the cell phones and also the cell sites or mobile base stations. Up to now, there is no conclusive evidence that use of a cell phone causes harm to human health. It has been very much studied, this type of radiation. It's radio frequency radiation, Your Honor. And the only proven effect is actually increasing temperature or thermal hazards. But you will not be exposed to very high levels of exposure of radio frequency radiation unless you climb an antenna, climb the tower and put yourself right in front of the antenna of the cell site. The cell phone is not used for very, very, very long periods. And it's also, the power is not such that it could be expected to produce cancer, which is one of the things that's being raised against it. Moreover, even cancer as a possible endpoint vis-a-vis exposure to this type of radiation, there is no conclusive evidence that it causes cancer.
In that case, you can put your professional prestige on the line to assure everybody that a cell phone cannot become a health hazard.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I use a cell phone. In fact, I sleep with my cell phone right beside my bed.
And that would be true with respect to the other more common electronic gadgets like iPads, especially the iPads where the earphone is permanently stuck into someone's ear.
Actually, Your Honor, the iPads...
How about the effect on the eardrums?
The concern is really because they keep on using high volumes for that. So the effect there really is a loss of hearing ability. It has been observed already among children who've been using, you know, these earphones and